Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a topic that I've been wanting to cover for quite some time, but I think we've reached a point in the season where we just really need to. And first of all, I'd like to point out, if you can't tell, I got a bit of a different setup back here. This whole thing, I came back from a baseball tournament in Kansas City, all my LED lights across the top and down the sides fell down, so I had to stick those in the back of my TV. The sticky stuff just kind of got worn out. Then right here, I moved the ones that were on the back of my TV right out there. It's not pretty. It was prettier before, but I gotta make it work. I hope to buy some more, maybe put up there, but we'll see. I think it's good for now, and we're also getting close to John Deere Classic time, where I'm gonna be switching all this stuff out anyway for that week span where we cover, but that's off topic. Let's get into the video, which is what's wrong with the Cubs. It's been a train wreck as of these last few games. They started hot. We were getting really excited about this team. They were like 12-8 at one point, looking like we were going to be competitive at the trade deadline to maybe buy instead of sell, which we've had to do for the last 5 or 6 years. But it's just gone downhill since then. They're sitting at 20-25. They're third in the NL Central, a very bad NL Central. But something that's scary is the Reds are starting to look good. The Cardinals are starting to get back to where we expected they would be to start the season and where they should be at. And the Pirates and Brewers still standing up there at the top of the division. But part of the issue, everybody's saying it, I'm not in disagreement, is David Ross. I think that he hasn't put his best lineup out there at times. He hasn't put his best bullpen arms out there at times. Now, it's tough. They aren't a very deep bullpen. That's another part of the issue. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I feel like they have the players. Part of it's been staying healthy. Hoerner, Bellinger on the IL this last week. Taillon, injuries early in the season. He's struggled to catch up. A lot of rough starts out there. Another one yesterday. Giving up all those to the Phillies. That's sometimes out of David Ross's control, but I feel like part of it is he's not consistently putting his best players on the field, but I feel like part of this also has to fall on the front office and also on the players. Now, as a team, the Cubs, that first month of the season or so, they were leading the majors in runs scored, batting average, runs scored, all that good stuff. Since then, it's just been strikeouts. The strikeouts have absolutely killed the Cubs. And throughout this season, the Cubs as a team have struck out 412 times in 45 games. You do the math, I don't even know what that is, but it's too many strikeouts, and a lot of it comes in key spots. They're leaving runners on base. They aren't situational hitting. Strikeouts in those key spots aren't hitting sac flies, aren't hitting ground balls just to get guys in or move them over to give the top guys in your lineup a chance. Now, you got Christopher Morel, who's hit 7 homers in 10 games. He's batting at the bottom of the order. This is a guy that needs to play every day. Eric Hosmer just recently DFA'd. I like that plan because he was a hit-or-miss guy. I'm pretty sure the Padres are paying his salary. He's been struggling these last few years. They didn't get what they wanted out of him. Just quickly got rid of him. I think that was smart. Now, when you look at guys like, say, a Suzuki, who's shown bright spots at times, but he's also been in the pits a few times, but you don't really have many other guys that can play right field, so you got to give him a chance. And that's partly on the front office for expecting something that's not there. They were expecting Suzuki to have a great year. Everybody was. He's not there yet, but you got to keep him in the lineup because who else is going to fill his role? So that's a lot of what's going on with the Cubs. Double plays is another thing. They've hit into almost 29 double plays so far this season. Almost won a game. And then here's the bullpen that I've been talking about. Completely screwed up that Houston game last week. Merryweather's got an ERA over 5. Assad got an ERA over 5. Keegan Thompson's ERA has been run up. He gave up a few runs against the Astros. Jeremiah Estrada has been one of the bright spots. Caleb Killian on the 40-man roster, just one start for him in one game, and It was not pretty. But Nick Birdie, one of the young arms they brought in from AAA, he's got heat. Hitters have been able to catch up to it so far. We looked for that to change. And so the bullpen, it's limited. It's not big. They don't have many lefties that they can turn to, if any. And part of that's not on David Ross. He needs to give these guys rest, and it's hard when you can't really trust anyone to perform day in, day out. So I think that's part of what is frustrating for a fan, part of what's frustrating for the team, and David Ross. There's a whole lot going wrong. There's a whole lot that needs to be fixed. But this is the year that we said they're going to get close. They probably won't make the playoffs, but they're making improvements. I think they're showing some signs of improvement from years past. They're hitting the ball a little better, but I just like to see more situational hitting, more bullpen, more positives out of the bullpen and pitching in general, because the starting pitching's been bumpy lately after that really excellent start from all the starters. So now we just got to expect to lose, expect to sell at the trade deadline, as they came out of the gates hot, but now we're dropping back to where a lot of people saw us. So that's my take on the Cubs start the season. That is why I think that they are struggling. That's what's wrong with them, and that's why I say thank you for watching, and goodbye, everybody.